I'm Marin, and this is Post-its and Pens. Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin, and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. In today's video, I am going to take you through my May empties. I'm going to let you know what I thought about them, and I will also include the details of how much it cost and the actual full name in case you're interested in checking any of them out. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So here is what I keep my empties in. So as you can see, it's not super full, mostly because I do this every month, but there is a decent amount of products in there, and some of them I am really excited about. So here we go. The first item that I used up was this Living Proof No Frizz conditioner. It was the 8-ounce size. I did enjoy this, but I don't think that it really did anything spectacular for me. It's kind of pricey because it is living proof, and I do not think I would repurchase. The next item that was a hair care item is this Vegamore Grow Plus Advanced Hair Serum. This is quite pricey, and what I hated the most about it is that it's subscription only, and it was really difficult to cancel. So they want you to call and then explain why you don't want it, and then they offer you a whole bunch of deals to try to get you to not cancel it, and it was just kind of a pain. I also don't know that it really did anything for me personally. I have seen that it works for others, but for me it didn't really work, and I will not be repurchasing. The next item that I used up was this Sebastian Whipped Cream Light Conditioning Styling Whip. This did absolutely nothing for my hair. So it didn't help define any of my waves. It didn't help hold anything in place. It was just meh. I really didn't enjoy it. Thankfully, this was just the travel size. If I'd had the bigger size, it would have been a struggle to get through. I don't know if this would work for someone who has different hair texture than me, but it is supposed to be to help with curls and waves, and it just really didn't do anything. I also think that it has silicone in it, so if that's something that you're wanting to avoid, I would just say give it a pass. I am glad that I tried it, but also glad that it is gone, and I will not be repurchasing. I also finished up this little sample size of the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair Hair Mask. I did enjoy this. I like it mostly because it has protein in it, which is something that my hair needs every once in a while. I liked the consistency of it. It was pretty thick without being overly thick, and I do think it did some nice things for my hair. I don't need a deep conditioning mask right now because I have the one from Amika currently in my shower, but when I run out of that, I may go ahead and purchase the full size of this, but we'll just see how I'm feeling. And the last product that I used up is the one that I am most excited about, and it was this Kinky Curly Curling Custard. This was a gel, and as you can see, it is completely gone. I hated the smell of this. I can still smell it in the container. It smells like vanilla pudding, and that is just not a scent that I want to be putting on my hair. This was a struggle to get through because I just could not stand the smell. It lasted for an extremely long time, so it is very cost effective, but y'all, that smell, no, thank you. So I will not be repurchasing this. I am very, very glad that it is finally gone. It took me months of daily use on my wash days to get through the whole thing. Now I'm going to go ahead and move on into body care, and the first item that I used up was this Shea Moisture Daily Hydration Body Oil. Now I'd mentioned previously that I don't usually use body oil, but I did purchase it because the lotion that I had was just not doing the trick. So I purchased this to add to the lotion to get through the drier winter months. Now that it is warmer and summer is coming up, I do not need a body oil, but this one was quite nice. It did not really absorb on its own. I put lotion over top of it and that kind of helped it sink into the skin. It is coconut oil, so it had a coconut smell, and I had to be very careful not to get it on my face or anywhere that I'm kind of prone to breakouts, but it did its job. It hydrated and moisturized my skin, so I can't complain. It was pretty cost effective. It lasted for several months, and I am very glad that it's gone. I might repurchase it when winter rolls around again, but I'm also kind of interested in trying something different. The next item that I used up was actually a little hand cream mini. So it is the Juara Coconut Hand and Nail Balm. This had a very strange consistency. Like, as you were rubbing it in, it kind of thickened up and it was difficult to massage into your hands. I also don't think it really did much in terms of moisturizing my hands. I do have quite dry hands, particularly around my nails. And honestly, I was just kind of unimpressed with this one. It says it's an ultra rich hand balm made to treat and soften dry hands and cuticles. I don't know, it was fine. It only had a few uses into it. You can see I didn't even cut it open because I wasn't really that impressed with it. So yeah, would not recommend, will not repurchase. I also went through 2 refills from my Billie razor refill. I mentioned in last month's empties, which I will link up here, that I am not going to be continuing to purchase these type of razors. They just don't do any favor for my skin. I think the 5 blades is just too much for my very razor burn prone skin, and I am moving on to a single blade safety razor instead, and I'm kind of excited to roll the remaining 2 of these out of my collection so that I can officially try something different. If you don't mind 5 blades though, these are good. They come monthly. You can kind of change your subscription if you want to, and it worked fine. It was serviceable, but I just feel like for me personally, there's got to be something better out there. I also went through a vitamin C supplement. I take these to help combat any colds and illnesses that my students might pass on to me. These were quite large pills, so I personally prefer smaller vitamin C tablets. These were quite large, but it's what I could find at the time, so I went ahead and bought them. I would not repurchase this one. I prefer, again, just the smaller tablets, and honestly, this one also kind of got stuck when I was trying to swallow them, so I was really not a fan of these. I'm very glad they are gone. So the last item that kind of falls into that body care category is a little mini fragrance. It is from Bulgari, and it is their Eau Parfum Eau de Verre. Eau de Vert. I think it's something to do with green, hence the cap. This one, it had an okay smell. It's not something that I loved, and I definitely won't be repurchasing it, but it smelled okay enough for me to use it up. This is one less mini in my collection. I am down to just one more that I am almost finished with, so I consider that a pretty good accomplishment considering that I started the year with several of these. Next, we're going to go ahead and go through the skincare items that I finished up. So the first one was this Sephora Cucumber Eye Mask. This was not anything special. I don't even really think it hydrated necessarily. I guess it was a cooling sensation under the eye, but honestly, not anything spectacular. I wouldn't recommend, and I will not be repurchasing. Sticking with the eyes, I did finish up this little mini of this Tata Harper Restorative Eye Cream. Again, it was fine. I don't know that it really did anything spectacular. Tata Harper is extremely expensive, so I definitely wouldn't repurchase, but it was nice to go ahead and get one more little sample pack out of my collection. I also used up a little mini or this little sample pack of the Herbivore Orchid Oil. Y'all, this stuff smelled like I was putting a flower bouquet on my face. So it has jasmine in it, and that is all you can smell with this. I do think it hydrated really nicely, but the smell was crazy strong. I wouldn't recommend it just for that. And honestly, I'm not really sure that putting that kind of stuff on your skin is necessarily that great for you. So it's supposed to have camellia and jasmine. I do like camellia oil. My skin enjoys that, but the jasmine in here just completely overpowered everything else. And as a result, I would not recommend and I will not repurchase. One item that I am actually just decluttering is this Glam Glow Youth Mud Tingle Full Exfoliate Treatment. Now, this was in a little mini sample set that I found in a box last month. This stuff has these black flakes in it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to but I'll show you. Like, do you see? It's got these chunks, this black, it's almost like plastic. And I put it on my hands, thankfully, before I put it on my face because it was disgusting. There's another one right there. I'm not sure if this is no longer good and that's why it did that, or if it does that anyway, but I personally don't want black plastic flakes on my face, so yeah, definitely would not recommend, will not repurchase. It also has kind of odd smell. It's not good. It's not good. Do not recommend, do not purchase this. Continuing on with skincare, because there is quite a lot of it, I also finished this Clinique Blackhead Solutions. It's like an exfoliator. You squeezed it out here and then you added water to it, and then you were supposed to use this little tip to massage it into your skin. I did not use the tip. I found that really, really rough. I actually don't think this did anything at all in terms of helping blackheads. I was just using it up to use it up. It does heat up. It gets quite hot feeling actually once you add water. So I'm just not really sure that that's really all that great for your skin. I would not recommend it and I will not repurchase it. The next item that I used up is one that I actually cut open. It is this Origins Drink Up Intensive Moisturizing Mask. You put this on at night. It's an overnight mask. It's supposed to help hydrate your skin. I was actually using this as a nighttime moisturizer just to get it done. You can see it is empty. And yeah, I would not repurchase this. It does have quite a strong fragrance. Origins puts a lot of fragrance in their products, and I don't feel like it really did anything massive in terms of hydrating my skin. Would not recommend it. Glad it's finally gone. Will not repurchase. I used up another little Glam Glow mini. This is their Instamud 60-second pore refining treatment. Again, I don't think this did anything. It was purple in color. You put it on, it kind of bubbled up. It was supposed to help diminish your pores. I don't think it did anything. I was just using it up towards the end to use it up. And much like with the other Glam Glow products that I've used up in the last couple of months, it has a very strong fragrance, and I just don't think it does a doggone thing. Will not repurchase, would not recommend. The next skincare item that I used up was a little mini of the Juju bar from Drunk Elephant. This was a travel size. It came in a 2-pack along with their other bar, their moisturizing bar. I actually liked this one quite a bit, but I will not be repurchasing it. It does have a kind of gritty texture, which I found nice for nighttime when I was trying to remove sunscreen and makeup after I went in with a cleansing balm or cleansing oil. It did last a very long time, so I can't imagine how long the full-size one would last, since the mini lasted probably 3 months. But I'm glad that I went ahead and used it up. Would not repurchase it just because I feel like Drunk Elephant's prices are too much for what they're actually giving you. And yeah, honestly, while I enjoyed it, it's not anything terribly special, so not worth me going out and repurchasing. Next item that I used up was another sample pack. This is the Versed Dew Point Moisturizing Gel Cream. I did enjoy this. It sunk in nicely to my skin. I would possibly think about purchasing a full size of it, although I am really partial to the moisturizer I'm using from Crave Beauty. But this was a nice one. I got 2 uses out of it, this little pack. I liked it well enough. I liked that it sank into my skin, although I don't know that it necessarily did much in terms of hydration or moisture, which is what I really need from a moisturizer that I put on my face in the morning. So while I might potentially repurchase it, it is not high on my list right now. I would much rather stick with the Crave one, which I know does good things for my skin. I also went through 2 packs of the COSRX Acne Pimple Master Patch. I had a really rough skin month this month. My skin was really rebelling with the warmer temperatures, having to wear a mask all the time. So I was fighting with a lot more acne than I typically am. Thankfully, I'm mostly cleared up now, but I did go through 2 packs of these. I really enjoy these. I feel like they do what they're supposed to do. They stay on at night, and I couldn't really ask for much more. I will definitely repurchase these once I am out of the final pack of them, which I haven't opened yet. I still have a full one in my closet, and I can see myself repurchasing these for quite a while to come. I have 2 more little sample minis. The first one is this Belief Hungarian Water Essence sample, which I went ahead and finished up. I don't love this. I've had one of these before. It's fine, but I feel like you can get a toner or an essence for a less expensive price that probably does exactly the same thing. So while it was fine to use up, I will not be repurchasing it. And the second little sample that I used was this Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow, which is their AHA Resurfacing Night Serum. I did really enjoy this. It packs quite a punch. I got 2 uses out of it. It definitely tingles when you put it on your skin. You leave it on overnight, and then it is supposed to kind of resurface your skin while you're sleeping. I used this in place of the resurfacing mask that I would typically use once a week, and I did enjoy it. I could potentially see myself repurchasing it somewhere down the road. I don't know that it was life-changing, but I do like having something like this in my routine, so we'll just kind of see what happens. But it was a good one. If you're interested in trying it out, I would say go for it. I felt like it did what it said it was supposed to in terms of the tingly feeling. My skin did look more clear in the morning when I got up, so I can't complain too much. The last 2 items are ones that I am particularly excited about. So I did finish this Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. This was something that I used as a toner. Now I will say the spray nozzle on this was a bit overpowering. It left your face quite wet. So basically I would just pump it into my hand and put it on my face, but I did not love the scent of this. It's definitely got some kind of fragrance in it. This is their, I think they call it their marine algae formula. So it definitely had some fragrance. Didn't love that. I also don't know that it really did much of anything. I couldn't get the last little bit out of it, so I just dumped it into the toner that I'm currently using to try to finish it up. But I would not repurchase it, and honestly, I wouldn't really recommend it. I don't think it does much of anything. And the last one was this Innisfree Balancing Toner with Green Tea. This lasted forever, and I really didn't like it. So this was a struggle. This is another one that's quite fragranced. I don't like the smell, and by the end of trying to use this up, I really didn't like the smell. I do feel like it did add some hydration to my skin, so I can't complain with that. It did what it said it was going to. I don't know about balancing. My skin wasn't any less or more oily while using it, and I am so glad it is done. Y'all, this took probably 8 months to get through. So this was a struggle, and I'm very glad that it's done. I will not repurchase. The last category of items that I have are makeup items, and I'm going to start with one that's kind of a hybrid skincare and makeup item, and that was this Agave lip balm from Bite Beauty. As you can see, I dug it out and used every last bit of it. I loved this lip balm, and I will be repurchasing it, assuming that Bite does not discontinue it. They discontinue products all the time. But this one was very, very moisturizing on my lips. I would put it on as I was doing my makeup. It would sink in really nicely, and it just was lovely to use. So it is their Agave Plus lip balm, and yeah, I really loved this, and I would repurchase it, but I have a ton of lip products to get through before I can do that. So hopefully when they are finally gone, this will still be around and I can purchase it again. I have two little primer samples. So I finished up this Pores Be Gone matte primer from First Aid Beauty, and I finished up this Oil and Shine Control primer from Smashbox. I didn't love either one of these. They were perfectly fine, but they're not something that I am going to purchase in the full size. I don't feel like they really keep your skin terribly matte, which I definitely need in my T-zone, especially with wearing a mask because I get very hot. And I don't really think that they did anything to hold my makeup in place. It's still kind of slid around, particularly between my eyebrows on my forehead. So would not repurchase them. Glad they're out of my collection. I also used up a sample size, deluxe sample size of the Smashbox Original Photo Finish Primer. As you can see, I cut it open, got all of it out. It was another one. It does literally nothing in terms of oil control or holding my makeup in place. It does blur your pores, which is really what it's for. So I can't complain overly much. I am very glad that it's gone, and I am down to just one primer left in my collection. I also went through a little mini of the NARS eyeshadow primer. This had quite a few uses in it. I probably got about a week's worth because you need so little of it. People used to rave about this. I don't know, they might still, but for me, it was just fine. It was exactly like the other eye primer that I currently use. So I'm not really sure that it was anything spectacular. I am glad that I was able to give it a try since everyone talks about it, but I would not repurchase the full size of this. I just don't really think that it's necessary to go super high end for something like an eye primer. Now we're on into actual makeup items. I finished up my last NYX Micro Brow Eyebrow Pencil. I had mentioned in last month's empty that I was going to go to a sharpenable pencil. So as you can see, I'm clicking it and nothing else is coming out. So I really love these, but I go through like one a month, which is just too much for me when they are $10 a piece. So as of right now, I will not be repurchasing these, even though they have a really nice formula. They're really easy to fill in your brows with, but I just don't think it's terribly cost effective to purchase one of these every single month for $10 a pop. I also went through a sample size, or a travel size, I should say, of the Milk Makeup Kush Mascara. I really loved this. This was probably my favorite mascara that I've tried this year. This is what the brush looks like. It did not smudge. It did not budge off of my lashes, even though it is not a waterproof formula. It made my lashes look really long and voluminous. And what I really loved about it is that it did not transfer off my bottom lashes, which is what I have the most trouble with. The one that I'm currently using right now does transfer, and I can't stand it. So this one, as of right now, would probably be the mascara that I would repurchase once I get through all of my samples, but obviously we will see. I have a couple more to get through, so I could change my mind, but as of right now, this is the winner. I would recommend this, although I know there are people out there who don't like it, but for me, it worked really, really well, and I could easily see myself repurchasing, even if I just repurchased the travel size rather than the full size, because this lasted me about 3 months, which is really, really great for a little mini mascara. The other mascara I went through this month, I did not like at all. This is the Surfer Curl Mascara from Tarte. It was just clumpy. So I'm gonna pull it out, and you can kind of just see it's like clumping on the brush. It's done that from the get-go. It dried out really, really fast. It flaked, and it did smudge on my lower lash line, and I just was not a fan of this. I would not recommend, and I would not repurchase. The next item that I finished up was a powder, and it was the Bye Bye Pores Pressed Powder. If you watched last month's Empty, you'll remember me saying that I'd finished up the full size of this previously, but then I found a little mini of it, which I'd pressed into this one. Well, that mini is now gone, and I am officially done with this powder. So hooray for that. I have combo skin, so for me this was not enough to really hold my makeup in place. Although it left a really nice finish on my skin, I will not be repurchasing it, and I would not recommend it if you, like me, have a more combo skin type, because it will not do enough to hold your makeup in place. Two more items. The next one is quite exciting as well. It was this little mini lip gloss from Urban Decay. This is extremely old. This is in the Lip Junkie lip gloss line. It was their plumping lip gloss, and it was in Midnight Cowboy, which they don't even make anymore. This did have a tingling feeling when you put it on, and honestly, I really loved the color. It was just really pretty. I don't know if you can see, but it just had a really nice shine, and I didn't find it terribly sticky. It just looked really nice on my lips, and I really enjoyed it. I believe they have rebranded this as Midnight Cowgirl, possibly, which I might potentially purchase, but Urban Decay is kind of redoing all of their lipsticks and lip glosses, so I don't even know if it will be available by the time I'm able to purchase lip products again. I mentioned in my low buy intro, which I'll link up here, that lip products are something I'm not allowed to purchase this year. So we'll see what happens. I still have a ton of lip glosses and things that I need to get through, so it's not a super pressing purchase, but it was something that I really enjoyed using, and I'm sad is finally gone. And the last item is probably the most exciting makeup item, and that was the Butter Highlighter from Physicians Formula. If you watched my Project Pan update for May, which I'll link up here, you already know that I finished it, but it is completely gone and can officially be taken out of my collection. So this lasted a very long time. I used it pretty much every single day starting in January, and it took me until the end of May to kind of get through all of it. So definitely you get your money's worth. I was using this kind of all over my face and to give me kind of an all over glow. So I would just take my sponge and kind of put it in there and then just dab it all over my face. It left a really nice finish on my skin. It could look a bit textured if you weren't careful about how you applied it. I found that using the sponge worked the best for me. Otherwise, it really kind of highlighted the texture on my skin. Because of that, I will not be repurchasing it, but it was pretty when you could get it to cooperate with you. I'm glad that I can finally take it out of my collection and focus on the other highlighters that are in my collection and haven't been getting any love because I've been trying to finish this one up. So that is the end of my empties for the month of May. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.